other things that I'm noticing, ride quality is really good. Now again, this doesn't have any of the fancy ride quality tech bits that you can get. It doesn't have air suspension, doesn't have MagneRide. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing a 2023 GMC Yukon. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the National GMC here in American Fork, Utah for giving me some time with this Yukon. This one is available for sale for the time being, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below. On a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 5.3 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 15 around town and then 19 on the highway, with power outputs being 355 horsepower and then 383 pound-feet of torque. Now, sorry about my shadow sitting there, but anyways, let's go over the front end here of the Yukon. So you guys can see here with the center portion of the hood how it's like flat, but then you got a little divot and then it's raised and then you got another divot there off to the side. Definitely unique. We have a gigantic GMC logo there in the center, and then we've got our LED lights here off to the side. You've got the daytime running lights in the normal C-shape format. And then you got our fog light down below with the parking sensors here on the front end. And, well, let's actually go to the center so you guys can see. There's the front. Now coming around the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 275/50/22 in the front and in the rear as well. And then notice how the wheels are all blacked out. I think that looks really cool, especially how it contrasts the white paint on this particular Yukon. We have our GMC badge, Yukon badge there on the side, and then notice the two-tone design with the mirrors, fixed side steps there, and then you got all the chrome trim around the windows, and wow, pretty big. There's the side. So here is our key fob. Notice we got the GMC logo. We have our unlock or lock function, remote start, the opening for the hatch, and then the opening for just the window. So we press that a couple times and it'll pop right open. Now popping inside, you guys will notice here that no metallic plaques or anything like that, which is good. You don't have to worry about scratching anything. We do have a power outlet here in the back, and then storage space underneath. Now this is the XL, so we've got tons of storage space here behind the third row. If you guys are wondering, this is the same size as the Suburban. So a regular Yukon is like a Tahoe, and then the XL is like the Suburban, basically. You do have the straps to basically pull down and throw the seats and everything. You have to kind of like reach over though, I will mention that. And other than that, when you're all done, just press this button right here. Bada bing, bada boom. And it's lowered. Now let's finish things up with the rest of the rear. So first off, payload capacity is 1,711 pounds, and then towing capacity is 7,500 pounds. Now you can see here with the taillights, you've got the C shape right there. We have our GMC logo there in the center, Yukon, and then our SLT badge. Parking sensors here along the bottom. That bezel covers the receiver hitch here with the SLT, and yeah, overall, looks pretty cool. Now here's the door panel in the rear. You've got the padding here at the top and the wood trim down below, and then more padding. I love how it's perforated here on the bottom portion. That looks really good. And then notice here for the Bose sound system, and then our GMC logo. And then here are these seats. So you can see perforated in the center. And I'm having a little bit of deja vu. I reviewed a Suburban with the Premier package today, and this interior looks literally identical. That is crazy. But popping in, here's legroom. And then notice here at the little storage pocket, and then we've got vents here at the top. This even has the bench seat, just like that Suburban. This is crazy. Third row, you can comfortably fit adults back there. They've got plenty of headroom and legroom as well. And then notice here, we've got some cup holders. You've got your climate controls. You've got some USB ports as well. And then here's a better look at the door panel design. But let's head to the front. Now let's go over the front door panel here. So you've got the padding at the top, and then notice the wood trim down below, and then more of the padding. I love how it's perforated there at the bottom again. It looks really good. There's kind of like a full view. All of our window controls, front two are automatic. We do have memory seats as well. You've got your mirror adjustments. There's a quick look at the mirrors themselves. Speaker for the Bose sound system, GMC logo. And then here are the front seats. Notice perforated down the center portion. And you guys can see the bottom. You've got your power adjustments. Pretty normal pedal layout. We have our light control here. Now as for the driveline select, we have our 4-wheel auto, 4-wheel high, and then 2-wheel high. There is no 4-wheel low, but there is like a hill climb assist, and then your drive mode select. As for the parking brake, that is for your lane departure, stability control, parking sensors, auto stop start, and let's pop in. So here is our steering wheel. You've got the nice padding all around. Radio controls here on the back. We've got our voice command phone controls for the center stack, GMC logo, and then you've got your cruise control there on the other side. We have our turn signal / windshield wiper stock, and that's the steering wheel. Now here is the center gauge cluster. So it's a full digital gauge cluster, as you guys can see. Now, first off, I'll show the drive mode setup. So notice we've got a tow haul mode. We have an off-road mode. It gives you cool animation with each of them. A sport mode. And then you've got your normal mode as well for all those different driving conditions. And overall, I feel like this looks really cool from an aesthetic perspective, and that's all. Now here is the infotainment screen. So first off, we'll pop it into reverse. We've got a backup camera, which trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. And then you guys can see that little trailer tow mode as well with it. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment screen, you have a shortcut bar here on the side, and then you've got the main screen. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can see response time with the screen is fantastic. Really easy to use. Like if I want to go back to the home screen, just press the home screen button, and there you go. We have our whole gear selection system here with a bunch of buttons and everything. Definitely interesting. And then notice the padding here below the infotainment screen. And then we've got our analog controls for the radio, and then another home screen button, because you can never have enough of those. Dual zone climate controls. You do have a rear climate as well, which you can just turn off with that function. You press this, that'll pull up the rear climate controls here on the screen. Heated and cooled seats here for the front, wireless phone charging pad there, and then you guys can see more charging ports. Got a couple cup holders here, and then you've got some nice padding on the side, and there's some storage space down below. And then here's the center console, and it's perforated there on the top, and decent storage space. We have this random little storage space cubby that, let me know what you'd use this for, because I still haven't been able to figure it out. And then notice perforated right there, you've got some wood trim, and then you've got nice padding here on top of the dash. And the glove box, pretty neat. Popping up top, we've got, well, the camera will focus. There we go. We've got the little control there for the rear hatch, universal garage door openers, and that's all. So here's our window sticker for this 2023 SLT, and you guys can see here 3-year 36,000 mile bumper to bumper, and then 5-year 60,000 mile on the powertrain. We have the premium smooth ride suspension, and then mechanical limited slip differential, and then this one has, again, the single speed transfer case. Here's the base MSRP, 66,900, and then this has a few options, including the new OnStar services for 3 years. Anyways, total MSRP, $73,415. See how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off here. So first off, here's your visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, and then throughout the rest of the year. And let's set off. So setting off here in the Yukon. So first off, seat comfort's actually pretty solid, that is for sure. Definitely am loving the AC seat function, because it's, you know, still like 100 degrees over here in Utah, so definitely a nice thing to have. Actually getting up and moving. Yeah, this powertrain's decently punchy, actually. Now, other things that I'm noticing, ride quality is really good. Now again, this doesn't have any of the fancy ride quality tech bits that you can get. It doesn't have air suspension, doesn't have MagneRide, and it still rides really, really smooth. It's a really comfortable vehicle overall, so they've done a good job. I will say that. And we're gonna take our turn here, and my little test here is kind of going off the road a little bit and seeing how the suspension performs over some bumps. Good job. It's like the best thing I can do for these reviews, because we obviously can't do any, like, you know, off-roading or anything like that, but that at least shows kind of what this would be like on a, you know, bumpy, damaged road. And I definitely love the 5.3 V8, like, because we'll get a little acceleration here. We're at, you know, 4,000 feet elevation, and it still gets up and moves. Sounds good too. Now there are a bunch of different powertrains options for the Yukon nowadays. You can get a 6.2 V8, you can get the Duramax. The one that I'm kind of leaning towards now is, I love the 6.2, don't get me wrong, but I've been leaning towards the Duramax more lately because I just love the range that you get with that. I understand diesel prices are pretty expensive right now, but you know, what goes up must come down, right? So fully summing things up, I think this looks great on the outside. Again, this isn't a fully loaded Yukon. This is kind of like your more affordable package on the Yukon, if you can say that, because I mean, obviously it's still pretty dang expensive. It's just beeping at me with the parking sensors. We got close, but don't worry, I know how to drive trucks. And so yeah, overall I think that they did a great job with this. Let me know which package you guys like the most, which package you want me to review next. But in terms of like an entry, you know, sort of like an entry-level package, obviously the true entry level would have cloth seats and everything, but this is very nice. I think this is a Yukon sweet spot because again, you've got heated cooled seats and all that, and so there you go. That's gonna sum things up for our video on this Yukon. And like I said, a huge shout out and thank you to the National GMC here in American Fork for giving me some time with this Yukon. Check out them in the description down below. I'll see you.